Vultures, the collab album between Ty Dolla $ign and Kanye West, was released earlier this year, and they came out and released predetermined dates of when Volume 2 will come out and Volume 3. Where the fuck are they? Yeah, I don't know either. That's the truth of it. They released something recently about a concert date of, you know, a listening party for Vultures 2. Is that really coming out? This album was supposed, this Volume 2? This deluxe? Whatever we're calling it. I don't fucking know anymore. But was supposed to release in what, April? We're basically heading into August now. Alright, it's been 3-4 months since that day. Ty Dolla $ign keeps coming in talking about, oh yeah, it's coming soon.
I know about Vultures too, bro. Can you just talk to them?
Y'all know what it is, man. Y'all seen what I said the last time. I ain't gonna repeat it too much. It's on the way, though.
He doesn't fucking know. Kanye doesn't fucking know. Well, Kanye's really in charge of everything. Ty Dolla $ign is just here for the tag along. He's here for the quick check, right? Like, what are we doing here? Is Vultures 2 really gonna come out? And do we really want it? Do we really want it? Here's my hot take. Vultures 1 is actually a really good album. I actually really enjoyed it. I still go back to a good amount of the tracks, and I think it has aged pretty well. I know people are gonna be biased for a lot of things Kanye has said in the past, which I don't blame you. I don't even think that's biased. I think that's rightfully so. If you feel that way about Kanye, that's honest. That's actually a pretty good thing. But my opinion, I enjoyed it. I try not to let that decide my factor whether I liked it or not. I'm there for the music. I'm not there for the person. I know Fancino had that crazy take of saying you can't separate the artist between the music and the actual artist. Yet we're talking about people spinning blocks like Lil Durk or King Von or whatever. Or like someone like 6ix9ine. I know these guys aren't even particularly that good musicians, but it goes both ways. There's a lot of hypocrisies that happen within hip hop. And so that's why I find that really hypocritical for him to say. But we're not talking about that right now. What we're talking about is Vultures and these volume stuff. Because simply this album is never going to come out. These volumes, deluxes, whatever editions of this album, just basically just variations of the album probably. It's not coming out. I don't think it's ever going to come out. You see, the reason why it's never going to come out is because of shit that keeps happening with Vultures 1. About 2-3 weeks ago, Vultures 1 got removed from Spotify temporarily, which was really fucking random. One of the songs was already removed from Vultures 1, like originally from like when it first released within the first week or first month. I don't recall, but that's what happened. And with Kanye's current state, I really just don't see it ever dropping. I don't. And I don't think people have a desire for it to drop. And it shouldn't. See, there's this thing floating around that Kanye is the reason why Cardi hasn't dropped. And if that's the case, I'm not surprised. Because Kanye is a narcissist. We know it. Everyone fucking knows it. That guy's a narcissist. He loves the attention. Why do you think he chimed in the Drake and Kendrick beef? And hopped on the remix for Like That? And say, oh, Kata, I got your back. That was the most lame shit I ever seen in my life. If you're a Kanye fan, yeah, I'm sorry you had to witness that because he can't even rap anymore. That shit was just sad. Vultures 2, 3 is a dream, and it's just not going to exist. It's not going to exist in our lifetime. Maybe they'll drop something different. Maybe they'll just drop a new song or something. I don't think this album or this new edition is really going to push any new boundaries. You know, Kanye gets a lot of hate these days, which is rightfully so. And the desire for this album is pretty low. There's no anticipation for this album. There's no hype. There's no rollout. There's nothing. And people are just simply not pumped for a Kanye album. An album people are actually pumped for is a Cardi album. See, if that ever was to ever get announced, people will hop on it. But it's simply this album is never dropping. And I don't think it really should. Because I think Vultures 1 did a good job of showcasing other artists and the production side. Although I like the album, Kanye was simply not the highlight of the album. I think the highlight was Ty Dolla $ign throughout the album and the production. Which I think Kanye is something he will forever be good at, is the production, the selection, and just the process behind it and everything that he does with the production. I think he will forever be a GOAT as a producer. Listen to the older stuff throughout his catalog. One of the biggest highlights throughout his discography has always been his production. And that's something that was showcased in Vultures. See, with that being said, the desire for Vultures 2 and 3 is out the window. And this volume shit, I hope it ends. I know Metro did it with We Still Don't Trust You. And, you know, he was basically riding off that wave and was like, oh, we're going to drop a second volume of We Don't Trust You. Ended up being dog shit. Yes, I don't think that album was even good. The volume, deluxe, whatever we're calling it, it wasn't good. It really wasn't good. They're gonna tell you, the hip-hop dudes are gonna tell you, oh yeah, it was the best album ever, you're sleeping on it, you're just a hater, whatever, but it simply wasn't good. Future can't carry an album by himself, especially if it's not 20 tracks or higher, because he simply can't. He cannot switch up the flow enough. He doesn't got enough bars for that. It's just, Future doesn't got the skills like that. He's not at that caliber of an artist. That's just the trait. That's just the truth of it. And if I'm gonna be honest, Vultures it's done. We don't need a second one. We don't need a third one. No one cares about it. And their rollout has been pretty shit. The best thing we got was a music video for Talk, I think, with Kanye's daughter. Cool music video, but it dropped at a really bad time. Especially with the Drake and Kendrick beef going on. It was just poor timing. That was shit marketing, in my opinion. Why are you dropping it in the middle of that time? So Vultures, it's just never coming out. It's a dream. And I think it's probably for the best that it never comes out. Because I think there's been some snippets and stuff, and they haven't sounded too great. And I think it's best if we just leave it at that. And Kanye focus on some other things. And Ty Dolla $ign focus on other stuff. Ty Dolla $ign got his check for Vultures for the collab album and everything. Awesome. They got a #1 song as well. The album went #1 as well. There's nothing else for them to ask for. They did everything that they could do with the album, and they, in my opinion, they exceeded my expectations. I'm not the biggest Kanye fan. Maybe with his older stuff, but current Kanye, not so much. So when I went to the album, I was a little apprehensive, but the album actually impressed me. It was pretty good. In my opinion, it's aged well. I know a lot of people don't really like it, but I actually like it quite a bit. But however, I don't think a second one or a third one is warranted. I think what they gave us the first time is sufficient enough, and I don't think people are really even that forward looking to it. And considering Kanye is blackballed to the moon, if the volume 2 was a drop, I don't think he's selling that much. I don't even know how much they sold for this first album. I'll probably put it on screen. I don't think it was an impressive amount. It was probably one of his lowest first week sales. But he was blackballed. So if they do that again and drop again, it's probably going to sell less. And I don't think Kanye really needs that right now. He just needs to do his own thing and just focus on other stuff. Like, I don't know. I think he should just retire with music. I think he's left quite the legacy on his career. You know, he's established himself as one of the best to ever do it. And if anyone ever said Kanye's their GOAT, I would never ever question them, because that's a valid take. If you think Kanye is the GOAT or he is your GOAT, I respect it. That's a good pick. Kanye has made some legendary songs, legendary albums, iconic stuff. But in my opinion, this is where Kanye's career should finish out. There's no point to keep continuing. I think he's gone through too many problems and shit online and with people and companies and everything like that. I know he's gonna blackball after all the things he said like 2-3 years ago about the Jews. I just think it's coming to an end. I think he needs to stop. And I also don't think Vultures 2, 3, how many volumes there are never coming out. And I think that's probably for the best. Especially when no one really gives a fuck about him as much anymore. And yes, he was successfully canceled. People are going to be like, no, he wasn't. Yes, he was. Half of his net worth basically got slashed. How is that not cancellation?